Assalamualaikum students. Hope everyone is good, safe and sound. Okay. May Allah bless you all. Now, so we have started with the chapter number 1. These are basics of IT, information technology. Okay, this chapter we have already begun. So let's move further. So we have completed the topic of computer system and we were about to begin the subtopics of architecture of computer. We had seen the architecture of computer and in that we had seen the input unit. Okay, next we are about to complete the central processing unit. Okay, in that you have to learn the 3 different components of CPU. Okay, so first we'll just write the topic so you can understand. In architecture of the computer. In this series, we have 3 basic components which we have started. In that we have finished the input unit. Okay, the second one is your CPU, that is the central processing unit. Okay. Central processing unit. Okay, so this we are about to start now. In this we had already seen that after receiving data from the input device, a computer system has to process it, okay, according to the instructions provided. And here it has what? It has to rely on the component called CPU. Okay, the CPU, the central processing units. Now again, the central processing unit has 3 different parts. Okay, it has 3 different parts, students. Number 1 is arithmetic unit. Logic unit. Okay. Second one is your control unit. And the third one is your memory. Okay, we had seen the block diagram, okay, in the earlier lecture. Now I'm not going to draw the block diagram because it's already done in our earlier lecture. Okay, so just begin with the topic, arithmetic logic unit. Now what does arithmetic logic unit do? Now students, again this is the part of the CPU which performs arithmetic operations. Okay, what it does, arithmetic unit? It performs the arithmetic operations. It does basic mathematical calculations like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, etc. And you can use some more functions as well using the formulas and all. Okay, but basically what it does the simple mathematical, or we can say the basic mathematical calculations like addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. Okay, so it is basically for, just write here, arithmetic and logic unit. What it does, students? Okay, it does the basic, or it performs the basic mathematical calculations. Like what? Like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, so these are the few basic mathematical calculations. Now students, if you want to have more mathematical calculations, you have different types of formulas also available when we go further, okay, in the advanced features, okay. And even it perform logical functions like the comparison of data, mathematical functions, and what it also perform the logical functions, performs the logical functions. Logical functions like students comparison of data. That means you can compare two data, you can find out the range on the basis of logic, okay, you can compare things, okay, like comparison of data. Like, for example, we say either this or that. Okay, A is greater than B. B is equal to C. If A is greater, then C is smaller. Okay, like this. We are comparing. Okay, so it performs the logical functions as well. So that's why the name is what? Arithmetic and logic unit, because it is used for mathematical calculations as well as for logical functions like the comparison of data. Okay, we'll just try to see the internal view of CPU. Let's just try to have the CPU. I will just have a look on the internal CPU. Look. And say the internal view of the CPU. There are processors, the chips are there. Okay, so many slots are there. Okay, RAM is there. So these are the different parts of your CPU. Okay. So, and this here is the fan. Fan. What is the task of the fan or the function of the fan here, students? To keep the system within limited temperature. Okay, so that because it creates lot of heat, so fan is needed. Okay, just to avoid the heating. Okay, students. So this is the internal view of CPU. So this is, and you have, there are so many different slots students in CPU for CD-ROM, for DVD-ROM. Okay, then you have the RAM, the white card, the hard drive, video card, so many things are there. Okay, students. So with this, the CPU has a lot of things. Basically, it does all the things. That's why it is called as the brain of a computer. Okay. So we have finished with the arithmetic and logic unit. Next, we'll just see the control unit. Control unit. What is the control unit, students? Now, this unit is the backbone of computers. As we are saying that CPU is the brain of the computer. So control unit is the backbone of a computer. Okay, students, because it is responsible for coordinating tasks between all the components of a computer system. Okay, the control unit collects the data from input units and sends it to the processing unit depending on its nature. That means depending on the command. Okay, so finally what happens? It further transmits process data to output unit to facilitate user or to give the users. Okay, so control unit, what it does? Okay, this is the backbone of a computer. So what it does, it gives coordination. means it provides the coordination. So what the task of the control unit? To give the coordination, okay, to provide coordination between the components. Coordinates between all the or between the components of a computer system. Okay, students. So the control unit collects data from input unit and send it to the processing unit, that is the CPU. Okay, and sends it to the further it transmitted to the output unit for the user to utilize. Okay, what control unit does, students? We had seen the 5 major functions of the computer is what, students? We had seen. Okay, first is input is sent, then what happens? Then the data gets stored, storage or the stored. Then what happens? The processing takes place. Then the output is released, and this all things happens with what? With the help of the control unit. Okay, because it controls. Okay, control unit does all the coordination between the components of a system. Okay, so it takes the input from the user, store it, then process it, and then the output is sent to the user as per the requirement. Okay, now after this comes what? Your third part of the CPU. What is the third part? That is the memory unit. Very important unit, students, memory unit. Okay, this we are learning under CPU, students. Okay, in CPU we are having arithmetic logic unit, control unit and memory unit. Now memory unit. Memory unit is what, students? Basically to store something. That is the memory. Our memory is used to store. Okay, this is the third part of the CPU. Once a user enters data using input devices, the computer system stores this data in its memory unit. Okay, so this data will remain there until other components of CPU process it. Getting, students, what memory unit, what it does? Once a user enters data using input devices, the computer system stores that data in the memory unit. Okay, if suppose I am sending any input, okay, the input is what? Input is like I'm sending hello. Okay, then what happens? This hello is stored in the memory unit. Memory unit. Okay, until when? Until the other components of CPU process it. Okay, that means it waits. It waits for the other components to process it. Okay, until then the hello, the message, the data remains in the memory unit. Okay, then what happens, students? The memory unit uses a set of pre-programmed instructions to further transmit this data to other parts of the CPU. What happens? This memory unit, what it does, it uses a set of pre-programmed. Pre-program is which is already the instruction which is already feeded. Okay, which is already feeded, okay, in the system. Pre-program instructions to further transmit it. Transmit this data to other parts of the CPU. Okay, so that's why the memory unit is very much necessary, it's very much needed. Okay, when we talk about the storage, means the processing, all the system, all the components, they are coordinating each other with the help of the control unit. Okay, but memory unit, what it does, before sending the data to other components of the CPU for processing, it keeps it until the instruction, the pre-programmed instructions which is there, okay, is needed to be processed by other components as well. Okay, so that's why memory unit is very much necessary to store data. Okay, now memory unit again is of two types. Okay, there are two types of memory. Two types of memory are there. Can you guess? Yes, guess. RAM, ROM? No. Before that, we have the types of memory as primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory, and the second one is the secondary. Okay. Now, this primary memory is an internal memory and it is also known as the main memory. Okay, because it holds the data instruction on which the computer is currently working. Okay, so in simple terms, the primary memory is called as the internal memory. And the secondary memory is called as the external memory. Okay, so we'll just have this much in this lecture. Inshallah, we'll continue with this memory in the next lecture. Okay, so two types of memory are there: primary memory, which is also called as the internal memory, and that is the main memory. And we have the secondary memory, which is also called as the external memory of the computer. Okay, so inshallah we'll learn this two memory in detail. Okay, so we are on the architecture of a computer, students. Still we are on that topic because it's a lengthy topic, students, so we'll go slowly and gradually. Okay, just to understand each and every terms of your chapter. Okay, so just until then, stay safe, stay blessed. Okay, Assalamu alaikum.